Hi, and welcome to the second edition of Bucco Banter on Herald-Standard.com. I'm your host, Rob Burchianti, and with me again is Herald-Standard.com sports writer Jonathan Guth. And the Pirates here, we're on Tuesday, May 22nd. The Pirates are currently playing in Mets as we speak of this. And since we talked to you last, the Pirates went 3-4. They split a series with the Marlins. Then they lost. They split two-game series with the Nationals, and then they had a very interesting three-game series with the Tigers, in which Justin Verlander almost threw a no-hitter. Josh Harrison broke it up in the ninth inning with a one-out single. The next day, the pitcher Scherzer struck out 16, I think, batters. So the Pirates were overwhelmed in a couple of those performances, but they did win one game, and they were actually in the last game. They lost 3-4 because of a little miscue in the outfield. But they went 3-4 since then, so they're still hanging in there. And where's that put them right now, Jonathan, in the standings here?
In the standings, the Pirates are 20-22, and they're 3 games back. St. Louis leads the division 23-19, but they are 3-7 in their last 10, and it looks like that the Pirates are right there again. Cincinnati's playing good ball. They're 22-19, half game back. And they're on a 3-game winning streak. So it looks like, Rob, the Pirates are there. I mean,
it's not a real strong division.
And I think that obviously benefits them. If they were in a better division, who knows what would happen. However, they're in there. They're in the hunt. And that's what we're looking for. I think even if they get to that mark, they'll have a chance. And last night they pulled off a huge win.
Yeah, last night against the Mets, they were down 4-0. And what's the stat on the trailing by 4? What was it?
Yeah, it was about 3 years. So
3 years since they last rallied from 4 runs down. They did it last night against Johan Santana, no doubt. Good pitcher.
Yeah, and Michael McHenry, obviously, we'll get into a little bit more of the offense, but he has been he comes in and he can get some clutch hits, and he had a big 2-run shot. And
yeah, Michael McHenry is not hitting that well, as a lot of Pirates aren't, but he's hit 3 homers this year. I think he's averaging like 1 homer every 16 at bats, so I'll take that from him. But yeah, 4 runs down, and the Pirates strung. A couple of good signs in that game was McCutchen keeps hitting. Andrew McCutchen is proven to be one of the best outfielders in the league, and Alvarez got a clutch double in a 2-run. They got a 2-run inning that got him back into the game at 4-2, and then McHenry get the 2-run homer, and then they got a little break.
And that's the thing. I mean, the Pirates, they usually don't get the breaks, so to see him get one, and I think that goes to Hurdle. You know, he preaches that fight, and just
there's no doubt they're a gritty team. I'll give him that. For all their shortcomings, this team fights.
And I was just and I would agree with just getting back to the teams in the division. You look at the Cubs with all the money they spend. They always are underachieving. The Pirates, I'm not saying they're overachieving, but I'm saying with what they have, they are at least in there. They're scrapping, and just don't know if they can hang on, which has been what we've been talking about for the last 20 years.
Yeah, and the break we're talking about, I don't know if we told you, but they got even with the Mets, and then there was a fly ball that was misplayed in the outfield. Neil Walker got to third base, and then Clint Barmas hit a sacrifice fly. It wasn't real far, and Barmas can't hit the ball very far anyhow, but it was enough to get Neil Walker home, and they got a nice win out of that. Hopefully, like a win like that will propel them on and get them on a little streak here. But within 2 games of 500, not too bad at this point. Again, we're at the same subject as last week. Yeah, they need some more hit. They have to trade a pitcher to get a hitter. I mean, since I wrote an article about a week or so ago about this, it's been on the talk shows. Everyone's talking about it. They just have to get another bat. They don't have enough hitting. When you look at their stats, Andrew McCutchen, he's clearly an all-star.
Definitely.
Leads the team in runs, hits, doubles, home runs, RBIs, walks, stolen bases, batting average, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, OPS. I mean, he's their whole team.
Everything.
The only guy, surprisingly, Clint Barmas is actually tied for the lead in doubles with 8. But they still have I think 5 guys hitting below 200. McGahee's hitting 189, and he's just been horrible. No home runs this year from him. He was supposed to supply power. McHenry's at 188, but like I said, I'll take 3 homers from him every, in 48 at bats. Barmas is hitting 171. Navarro is hitting 171. McLeod has just been, and I love McLeod. He's a nice guy and everything. He's hitting 143. And
that bringing Nate back is just not
It's not
It's not been what the fans expected, and I'm sure it's not what the Pirates expected. Nate was an all-star,
right?
And he could. It wasn't like he was not a player. It's just I don't know. He went to Atlanta,
right?
And then he came back home, and
he crashed and burned in Atlanta, and he talked about, well, they bring him back home. Maybe he'll be more comfortable. He can be a bench player and do a decent job. But he hasn't even done. He had a huge strikeout at the end of the game. He got called out. He missed against the Tigers.
He misplayed.
There was a little miscommunication in the outfield, and he's just not getting the job done. So they just, once again, they have to trade. They're 29th in the league in average right now. It's same as last week. Last in the league in major leagues in runs, and they're 6th in ERA. They have a very good bullpen. Another thing, fielding-wise, I want to point out, stolen bases. They're the worst team in the league in stolen bases. 86%. 86.7% success rate against them. So that's very poor, too. And I think the pitchers, as well as they're doing, they got to hold the guys on a little better and give Barajas and McHenry a little better of a chance. But anyhow, that's the thing. I want to see. They got to make a move. I think that's the one thing they have to do. Try to get trade a starter. If you want to trade Hanrahan and get a good bat for him. I think most people are afraid that Huntington's going to make a bad deal. I think that's what's scaring everybody.
That's the story of the Pirates. It's bad deals, and everybody, they want to see it happen, but they don't want to see it happen and flop.
Right.
And we'll see what happens. But we're looking down the road.
Yeah, let's see who we got coming up, anyhow, coming up in the next few days.
We got the game with the Mets tonight, and then one more game tomorrow afternoon. Then we have a couple with the Cubs, and I think those 3 games with the Cubs, I say if you don't take 2 out of 3, huge disappointment. Just how bad they are. And the Reds, that'll be a telling series, and I think coming next week we'll know a lot about what the Bucks are going to have. So
we'll figure it out
and tell you what happens, Rob.
Yep.
My pleasure as always.
And see you in a week and see if the Bucks can get to the 500 mark. See you later.